All right, everybody, this is my reticulated python. It is an lavender albino, which honestly is not a true albino. It is a heterozygous form of a white and purple phase albino. If a true albino requires two copies of the gene to produce a visual albino. So if you produce a purple phase albino, it will require mother and father to carry a copy of the gene, or both be visual, or one visual and one carry one copy of the gene, where this girl is just heterozygous. So a visual albino would be called homozygous, where it carries both copies. Even though this female has two copies of an albino gene, it is not the same. They are two different genes. They are allelic. Two copies of this gene, purple phase, white phase albino, set at the same place on the chromosome. And they can't produce both. So you can't have a purple white phase albino, but you can have a purple phase albino or trying to get where you can see her telescoping. Or you can have a white or a purple phase, but you can't have them both. This is the closest you will get to both. And it's just because she's showing signs that she's an albino, but she is not. But they call it a lavender albino. You can see the beautiful lavender colors going down the side of the dorsal, going bleeding down in to the body. She is absolutely gorgeous. She will be a year old here in July. So she's not even a year old yet. She's still a baby. She is probably close to 5 feet. She doesn't want me showing my face. She is very close to 5 feet. That tickles, girl. She likes licking my face. Reticulated pythons are the longest snake in the world. A lot of people think the anacondas are the longest snake in the world, but they are actually the heaviest bodied snake in the world. Anacondas only reach up to 16 feet, some 17, 18 at the very, very max. Reticulated pythons get up to 25 feet. 20 to 25 feet is about normal for a reticulated python. A lot in captivity. Sometimes you won't see them over 18 feet. A lot of people have some that's 20, 22 feet long. A lot of people see them. They think they're 30, 40 feet long, but they're really not. They're only like 20, 22 feet. Some of them 18 feet. They do not crawl beside you and try to size you up to eat you. Everybody thinks, I had a guy on my video recently comment talking about how, I don't remember if it was on TikTok or if it was on here. I'm trying to get her. She's crawling behind my back. I don't want her getting in the chair. I can't remember if it was on here or another one. I'm not knocking anybody. Don't get me wrong. I'm not giving this guy a hard time. I'm just using him as an example. Thinking that it would eat somebody or eat somebody's child. Now, when this one gets 20, 25 feet long, yeah, it could very possibly eat a child. It could eat your dog, your cat. But this is called habituating them. This is called kind of getting them acclimated to being handled. You don't want to say used to it. You don't want to say that they like it or dislike it, that they want this, they want that. They don't have a frontal cortex lobe in their brain to process emotion, so it's not that they like it, it's that they get used to it. They are technically, I guess you could say, creatures of habit. So if you only keep your snake in a tub, in an aquarium, in whatever you keep your snake in, and all you do is ever open it up to feed them, of course they're going to try to bite you when you go to take them out because they think it's feeding time. And just because she gets hateful, we think hateful. Just because we call their actions and their food aggression aggressiveness, we think because they're hungry or they think that it's time to eat that they're just man haters. But that's not how they work. They have tunnel vision, I guess you could say. That would be another way to put it. So if I got this little girl ready to eat, she would be chasing it down, striking, biting, even biting at me. But it's not because she's trying to eat me. It's because she's hungry and she wants the rat that I'm trying to give her. And she's just ready to eat. Fired up, ready to eat. Food mode. But she is very gentle. We are definitely spending time with her because they don't size up their prey. They're hungry. They see it. They bite it. They wrap it up and squeeze it. And they try to eat it. They don't, that old wives' tale going around, oh, it lay beside you and measure the length of you so that it can eat you, is not true at all. This is my 7-year-old son. And, oh, it tickles my face when she licks it. He can, this snake isn't big enough. See, this snake's mouth isn't big enough to even fit over his head. Here's the thing about how snakes eat. They fit it in their mouth. If they can't get the shoulders in, if they can't get their mouth over the head, they leave it and go on. They don't know if it's too big or not. They just kind of guess. They're hungry, so all they're worried about is eating, especially in the wild. See, she's not sizing anybody up trying to eat them, because that is a wives' tale. It is fiction. It's not true. Snakes do not have the mental capability of doing something like that. They flick their tongue, smell. They have heat pits on around their mouth. So they see with the heat pits, smell with their tongue, feel around. They also see with their eyes too. And if they like the smell and the temperature of it, they're going to eat it.
She's bigger than... Her head is bigger than my nose.
Yeah, she's got huge, hasn't she?
Yeah. When...
She just kind of likes going where she pleases. She don't like to be... They're just like any other snake. They don't like to be forced into doing something. She's calmed down a whole lot.
When we first got her, she was like not big as this.
She was about half this size.
Yeah.
See, she's just crawling around, flicking her tongue.
Mm-hmm.
That tongue flicking is a sign of curiosity. Just sniffing and smelling. It tickles, don't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And see, this snake isn't big enough to even almost see. They typically only eat something. Retic can probably eat something about twice its body length. So my son's not quite as long as this snake, but this snake couldn't even almost eat him. Most of the things you hear about snakes it comes from people that are afraid of snakes. It comes from people that just make up things because they're afraid. When we are really afraid of things, we can see, hear, think things that aren't really there. There's a lot of things happen when we're afraid. And I'm not knocking anybody. I'm not fussing. I'm not complaining about anybody. Just giving you some cold, hard facts.
I did not realize that snakes could breathe so hard in somebody's face.
She's just licking and sniffing you.
And so it's even harder than my breath. Or fresher. Feels good.
See, she's just chilling out. Like I said, she's probably about 5 foot long. And she's not even a year old yet. So we got a long ways to go with this girl. Got another 29 years, hopefully, to spend with her.
And our snake is going to go like to my bedroom all the way to my dad's bedroom.
So if any of you have any questions, anything you want to comment, things that you've heard that you'd like to know if it's true or not about snakes, it doesn't have to be about a retic. If you have questions about reticulated pythons, comment down below your questions, your thoughts, whatever it is you would like to know. I will do my best to help you out. If I don't know the answer, I will find somebody that does.
She's skinny.
That's how and that's another thing about retics. As babies like this size, they stay really skinny. They don't look, I mean, like, she eats a lot. Probably, I fed her last week probably more than I should have, but she is my garbage disposal. One of my other snakes don't eat, she eats it. I give it to her. She eats what other snakes won't eat. She doesn't refuse food. Ever. That's one good thing about reticulated pythons. They'll eat anything you give them. I think if I was to give her an orange, she would eat it.
Yeah, she eats everything.
But when they're babies, they stay kind of thin looking and really long. When they become adults, they get massive. They can weigh up to 250, 300 pounds as an adult. There are times that you will find, especially in captivity, that even though anacondas are the largest bodied snake in the world, and these the longest snake in the world, you will find that they will weigh more than an anaconda sometimes. Not because they're bigger bodied, but that's just how it is in captivity. Maybe not necessarily in the wild, but definitely in captivity. But who in the world could not like that beautiful face? She's like, Dad, please.
She is so orangey and bluey.
That's lavender, that kind of purplish blue color.
Uh-huh.
Let's get a good look at her face right there.
Ooh, she's so long.
It's hard to get her to focus.
Whoa.
She is very long.
Yeah.
We'll get her stretched out one day and we'll measure her and see how long she is exactly.
Woo.
She's close to 5 feet. She's probably not quite 5 feet, but she's close. Oh, I think she's doing exactly what I did not want her to do.
She's taller than me, and she's almost taller than Mrs. Spence if it was 5 feet. Mrs. Spence.
Yeah. There we go. If I can get her to sit still.
I think she's 6 feet.
They're a little more active than ball pythons. They like to be on the move and crawl around. Sometimes as they get older, they'll mellow out. As she gets bigger, I have every intention of building this massive cage where I have trees in it that she can climb up in the trees. Even though they're big like they are, they like climbing in trees. I do not breed retics. I don't really have a desire at the moment to breed retics. They get a little, like every snake, even ball pythons do it, they get a little snippy over their eggs. Dogs do it, cats do it. They don't like things messing with their babies. And that's just their natural instinct, is to protect their eggs. But when one of these is 18, 20, 25 foot long, tries to bite you, you're not going to have a good day. Their teeth are like this long, and they will rip the flesh out of you. So I have no desire to breed her. I just want to keep her as a pet. This is actually my girlfriend Jenny's. She picked it out at Repticon. If you guys have not been to Repticon, go check it out. All right, everybody, I appreciate you watching. Thank you for tuning in. If you have not, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like this video. Go check me out on TikTok. Guys, we'll catch you again next time.
East of Eden Exotics. Bye.
See you guys.